This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
And good evening. It is a big day for many restaurants in Indianapolis, as today marks the first time they're allowed to offer in-person dining since the pandemic started.
And all seating must be outdoors and follow certain guidelines. Megan Sanctorum is live on Mass Ave. It's one of 3 streets the city closed to allow restaurants more space for seating. Megan, what's it looking like right now?
Well, we are seeing a steady crowd of people out here on Mass Ave. Right now, we're right outside of the Eagles patio. You can see almost all of the tables there are full of people anxious to dine out for the first time since March.
It's awesome. I was looking forward to this for a long time.
One by one, the tables are filling up, placed 6 feet apart and only in outdoor areas. It's a unique but welcome sight to many restaurant owners and managers.
In this business, no matter what it is, we always have to adapt, always have to improvise, and it's kind of cool.
The garden table on Mass Ave was one of the first to see customers today as small groups gathered there for brunch. Restaurants are only allowed to operate at 50% capacity. They can only seat groups of 6 people or fewer, and they're taking extra steps to keep everything sanitized. Employees are wearing gloves and masks. They're asking customers to do the same when possible. It's a lot of work, but work the owner of 9 Irish Brothers says is worth it.
With the past few months of being closed, everyone's playing catch up and everyone's just trying to figure out what to do and all this stuff. So it's going to be tough, but we're excited about it. And I think a lot of people are excited to start getting out and kind of getting back to a normal pace.
There was a group of several business and restaurant owners on Mass Ave who opposed the street closure, saying they would lose parking spaces for carryout orders, and they're worried about large groups gathering. While some agree with them, others say this is a unique way to adapt and get back to work.
It's kind of cool that we can pull together and do something like this and make sure that our community is going to thrive even in the weirdest times. So I'm excited.
And these outdoor dining permits and road closures are expected to go through the 4th of July weekend. Reporting live, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
Megan, thank you. Stage 3 of Governor Eric Holcomb's reopening plan for Indiana began today. That means gyms across the state are able to open aside from Marion, Cass, and Lake counties, which are the counties hardest hit by the coronavirus. RTV6's Stephanie Wade visited a gym in Marion County, which has been preparing to open its doors for weeks, but is still waiting to get clearance from the mayor.
Gym owners and members are probably happy. Governor Holcomb announced we are moving into phase 3 of reopening the state today, 2 days ahead of schedule. But for people in Marion, Cass, and Lake counties, they'll still have to wait.
And then max burpee step-ups or devil's press in the remainder of the time until you run and pistol again.
For members of CrossFit Naptown, this is how they're getting their daily workout in. A virtual at-home workout, still led by coaches they know and love.
A lot of our members took home dumbbells, kettlebells, bikes, rowers.
While most fitness centers across the state get to open today, phase 3 for the counties hardest hit by the coronavirus won't be allowed until June 1st.
We're just sort of waiting to see if we get the green light sort of officially from the mayor.
These few weeks haven't gone to waste, though. They have a professional cleaning crew that comes on a regular basis. Plus, they've rearranged their entire gym.
Once they arrive, we're going to have the doors wide open so that people don't have to touch handles as they're coming into the gym. Our coaches are going to be there with a no-touch thermometer.
The equipment that they're going to need for the class is going to be in the square as soon as they come in, so they don't need to touch anything.
Class-based fitness centers feel they have more control over the environment versus traditional gyms, because they can space out their members and reduce class sizes easier, like they've done with these outlined squares on the floor.
Between classes, our coaching staff will be cleaning down the equipment, wiping it all down with plenty of time before the next class comes in.
And here at CrossFit, they also have outdoor space they can utilize.
Thankfully, at all of our locations, we also have big garage doors, so we can have a lot of fresh air flowing through the gym while we are working out.
They want their members to take comfort in knowing they're taking every precaution for when they come back.
Our biggest priority is the safety of our members in the community.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Gyms and fitness centers still need to maintain social distancing and limit their class sizes according to the state's orders. As for the city of Indianapolis, officials tell us there will be an announcement next week with an update on Marion County health orders.
Again, most of Indiana entered stage 3 of the state's reopening plan today. And like we mentioned, Marion, Cass, and Lake counties won't be able to enter stage 3 until June 1st. Keeping that in mind, here's what's now open and allowed across most of the state. Social gatherings of up to 100 people will be allowed. Restaurant dining rooms can remain open at 50% capacity. Retail stores and malls will be allowed to operate at 75% capacity. Gyms and fitness studios can reopen with restrictions. Community pools, campgrounds, and state park-ins may open.
As more of the state reopened today, Indiana actually reported a decline in both new COVID-19 deaths and new cases. Today, the State Department of Health confirmed 27 new deaths from COVID-19. That's 21 fewer deaths than were reported yesterday. That means a total of 1,791 Hoosiers have died from the coronavirus. The Department of Health also confirms 493 new cases of the virus. That's fewer cases than were reported yesterday. So far, 30,409 people in Indiana have been diagnosed with COVID-19. More than 208,000 people have been tested. Nearly 15% were positive. We're learning at least 4 children with a rare inflammatory illness that's been linked to COVID-19 have been treated at Riley Hospital for Children. That's according to the hospital. That inflammatory illness, called multisystem inflammatory syndrome, or MIS-C, it's a condition in which different body parts can become inflamed, including the heart, lungs, kidneys, brain, skin, eyes, or gastrointestinal organs. The cause is unknown, but health experts say there appears to be a link to COVID-19. Doctors say most children will recover from the illness and most just have mild cases of it, but the long-term impact is still unknown at this point. Doctor described the symptoms of MIS-C as a persistent fever, a rash, or changes in skin color, red eyes or pink eye, abdominal pain, and swollen lymph nodes. If you notice any of these symptoms in your child, you should call their pediatrician for advice on the next steps.
We never thought in a million years that, first of all, that I would lose my job. And then second of all, that we would lose the deposit and the home on top of that.
A Zionsville father reached out to Call 6 Investigates after losing his job and then his dream home. The Rebound Indiana is our effort to help you and your family through the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny is talking to the building industry to find out what you can do if you find yourself in a similar situation.
Timothy Staton is a financial analyst who is used to dealing with numbers.
I'm out of $32,400 in deposit.
Timothy put down the deposit back in the fall to build his family's dream home in Zionsville with Fisher Homes.
I've been working for years to build up that money, large part of our savings.
But then in February, Timothy lost his job.
I'm not sure if it was related to COVID-19. The company said it was a restructuring.
Timothy says because of COVID-19 and the economic downturn, he was unemployed for a while. He did find a job in Georgia, but it's half the pay he was making, which means the Statons can't afford this home and they have to move out of state.
We're just really devastated that we cannot move into the home that we thought was going to be our dream home and that we thought we were going to live in for a long time.
Fisher Homes will not refund the $32,000 deposit.
We never thought in a million years that, first of all, that I would lose my job. And then second of all, that we would lose the deposit and the home on top of that.
Timothy reached out to Call 6 Investigates after seeing our Rebound virtual town hall.
We don't know where to turn. We don't know what to do.
The Builders Association of Greater Indianapolis explains there's a reason the builder keeps the deposit.
That deposit money goes towards that builder working with that customer on the selections of the colors, materials in that house. It goes towards then that builder securing the permits, paying the impact fees, and getting and all the engineering fees to get that project started.
Baggy President Steve Lane says the market is up 18% for the year, but it's not so simple for a builder to just sell a custom home.
And now they're the ones trying to sell somebody else's house as opposed to selling a house that they think is what the market wants.
Fisher Homes points out the Statton's home includes custom tile, flooring, and cabinetry. We are, of course, sympathetic to the customer's situation, which is why we have suggested a resolution of retaining only the deposit, which is well below what the customer contractually agreed to pay. We are not pursuing other obligations from the contract, like the actual loss we may suffer on the sale of the home, per diem fees for delaying the home purchase, and payment of 10% of the final sales price. Fisher Homes offered to give the Stattons a credit for 6 months to use toward the purchase of another home in any of their markets, including Indy and Atlanta, Georgia. But Timothy says it would be tough to afford after losing income. Here's what you can do if you find yourself stuck with a purchase you can't afford. You can ask for the project to be delayed, and if that's not possible, request a grace period or credit. Before you build, evaluate your income, job stability, and the economy. Consumer law attorney Duran Keller says read the fine print.
I think it's very important that all consumers read their contract, that they understand exactly what it is that they're entering into before they do so, because situations can come up that we don't account for. These things are always one-sided in favor of the people that write it up, and that's never consumers.
Timothy Statton says he did read the contract.
I was in good faith going to buy the home exactly as we had contracted to do.
But feels builders should make exceptions in light of COVID-19 and the economy.
And I just think that they really ought to consider the environment we're in today.
Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And Fisher Homes also points out since they've not closed as originally scheduled, they've been paying for things like property taxes, HOA fees, utilities, and lawn care. You can read their entire statement on the RTV6 app and at theindychannel.com.
Grab a seat by the railroad tracks for a box of barbecue. If that sounds like a good way to spend a spring evening, we've got just the place for you. Coming up here, see how the smoke coming from this restaurant in Liston is getting so much attention.
I'm Dave First. It's Memorial Day weekend, and the former champions are lining up to race. Virtually speaking, how and where legends are coming together, coming up in the Sports Extra Spotlight.
And we can wave the green flag in the weather office. We're off to a warm stretch of days. We'll talk about the 80s, humidity, chance of thunderstorms, and a lot more when we come back.
Start here at 2020census.gov.
Sometimes the best places to eat are just a little off the main road, and you'll find some amazing food in unexpected places.
Yeah, to finish off the week, Brad Brown takes us up to Hendricks County, where one little restaurant has people lining up for some big barbecue flavors.
In this little shack by the tracks on the edge of Liston, you'll find what just might be the best barbecue anywhere in Indiana.
We start with a great product. We add time-honored tradition cooking methods and finish up with something that's bare bones. It's not fancy.
Welcome to the Rusted Silo in Liston. Rob Eckers is the meat magician manning the smoker, a barbecue guru of sorts.
We still cook over an open pit flame with the smoke, hardwood, and that gives a different character to the proteins that you're smoking.
For the past 2 years here, the crew has been rolling out award-winning ribs, chicken, pork, and more.
You build a fire. Go out in your backyard and build a fire. How many people show up?
Turns out a whole lot of people. The switch to carry out only has not slowed demand one bit.
It really showed the mettle of our team, the way they came together, creating new procedures, how we pretty much did everything. It's been fantastic for us to be able to continue to serve our community.
And the community has been giving back as well. Several Hendricks County businesses have teamed up with the Rusted Silo to help feed doctors and nurses, as well as families in need of a good meal.
There's just tons of people that came together that all we want to do is help. They've been great to us and keep us going nonstop. So let's give back somehow, some way.
We are going to remain takeout only through the the end of phase 4.
Rob posted on Facebook that he'll be sticking to carryout only through July 4th. They've added seating outside, and he says right now what's working is working out well.
We wanted to continue to make it easy for everybody. You know, a lot of families, you know, love to come out and sit at the picnic tables and watch the trains go by. Most people have been locked up for 6-8 weeks in their house, going crazy. And we want them to relax and have a good time and enjoy themselves and enjoy good food.
Rob tells me they're going through about a ton of meat on an average day, and they sell out of most meats on most days. You might want to go a little bit early. They're also doing some weekly take-home dinner kits that go way off the menu. They've done the likes of smoked chicken ramen, carne asada, beef and bacon burgers, and a lot more. You can find out the information about those specials on the Rusted Silo Facebook page. You can order online directly from their website as well. The Rusted Silo is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. You can find them just off of the Liston exit on I-74. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
And thank you, Brad. Let's keep it in Hendricks County from Liston to Avon, where I'm homecasting from, just like many of you. Working from home, I have my basement studio here. Temperatures, the story over the next several days, and we have to stare at the radar. Nearly every afternoon, I think there'll be pop-up thunderstorms. They're going to be widely scattered over the weekend. Some of you won't see any rain either tomorrow or Sunday, but the possibility is there both days because I do think they'll pop up. Temperatures warming up. We made it into the 70s today. Remember, yesterday's high was 58. 82 tomorrow. Warmer Sunday, warmest on Monday. We'll add to that the humidity, and you really start to notice the humidity is a building block for this daily chance for thunderstorms, as you can see over the next 5 days, and that continues really into Thursday and Friday of next week. Almost to the top of the scale on the humidity. Definitely will make it feel a little more uncomfortable, summer-like. We do just transition from what felt like early spring to midsummer, and we'll do that here in about 24 hours. Temperatures now all in the 70s, from 71 in Crawfordsville to 79 in Bedford, 71 in Richmond. These are temperatures typical for this time of year. Off to the patio tomorrow. If you're just relaxing on a Saturday, temperatures, they'll make it into the low 80s. That chance for thunderstorms begins to bubble up after 1 o'clock, and in fact, we could have a morning shower or thunder shower, especially in the southern third of the state. The peak time will be after 1 and before, say, 7 p.m. As far as 8 a.m., there are some showers, thunder showers, southwest then of Bedford, near Cincinnati as well. Let's run this to 1 o'clock and we stop it. You begin to see a few pop-ups, almost a line, Seymour to, say, Martinsville to Crawfordsville, Lafayette. They develop a little more intensity, some heavier rainfall at 4 o'clock, but they're still widely scattered, not a solid area of rain to sweep across central Indiana. That 82 for the metro area is a base temperature from which we'll continue to warm up. 86 Sunday, warmest temperatures on Memorial Day at 87. Notice next week, each day, we're in the 80s until further notice, with a daily chance for thunderstorms, mainly during the heat of the day. That is our meteorological game plan. Have a good weekend.
All right, Kevin, thanks for laying it out for us. We appreciate it. Hey, you'll have to wait until August to see this year's Indy 500, but that doesn't mean that you'll have to wait that long to watch the Legends race there.
It's all thanks to some virtual races, which will air live on ESPN tomorrow at noon. It'll include 7 former Indy champs and many more. Legends coming together. Dave First explains in the Sports Extra Spotlight.
Imagine a race on Memorial Day weekend with guys like Emerson Fittipaldi, Mario Andretti, Tony Kanaan, Helio Castroneves, and Dario Franchitti.
So, Dario, it's race weekend. We're not at the Speedway in theory, but you guys are.
Yeah, it's definitely the lowest pressure race I've ever done at the Speedway, put it that way.
With Dario Franchitti. It's part of the virtual Torque Esports Global Series, which has brought together the likes of so many legends, including Mario, who will make his virtual debut and has already been practicing using a likeness of his 1994 Lola.
I mean, Emerson's been there since day one, having a great time. And now Mario's come along. It's like, wow. What I would have given to race against those two guys in the real world. This is the next best thing. It's the only way it's going to happen nowadays.
Of course, it's been nearly 7 years now since Dario retired from IndyCar, leaving as a 3-time 500 champion. he's still very much involved under contract as a consultant for Chip Ganassi Racing, taking part in the Torque Esports Series, though scratches an itch.
For me, the competition. I've enjoyed just getting to have a bit of fun and not taking it too seriously.
Something everyone could use in these times, from a driver to the brand new IndyCar owner, Roger Penske.
I bet Roger's not thankful right now. He bought the series and the Speedway just when he did, because
could you imagine?
Difficult period, yeah.
But if anyone's going to lead this group through this, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Roger is a guy you want, no pun intended, but you want captaining the ship. He's used to dealing with such a large organization.
So it's Memorial Day weekend, and there'll still be some racing. 2, in fact, at high noon on ESPN.
At the end of the day, you want to win once or twice Saturday?
I think finishing would be a start, but no, I want to win. I want to win, and it's the Speedway. I want to win anytime I can, even if it's virtual, of course.
At last check, it's still the month of May. Day 1st, RTV6 Sports. We continue our goal of honoring the outgoing spring sport athletes with our RTV6 Senior Salute. Tonight we head to Ritter, meet Annie Klemper, a 4-year varsity starter named All-Conference every year, owns the school's triples and stolen base record, and was on pace to break some more this spring. All-City and All-State honors, leading the team to their first conference title last season. Annie is set to continue her softball career at Franklin. Good luck, Annie. I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute.
So you can find new roads with confidence.
It won't take long to warm up tomorrow. Shortly after noon, temperature warms to 80. We'll be in the low 80s with pop-up afternoon thunderstorms. Have a good weekend.
All right, Kevin, thank you. And thank you for watching RTV6 News at 6.
World News Tonight with David Muir is next. Then stay with us for the news at 7.